In this video, I'm going to show you the best RA lead gen strategy in 2025. And this is the exact strategy that I've used personally to boost my LinkedIn from getting, 2 to 3 likes on posts to reaching thousands of impressions in singular posts. But more importantly, the exact strategy that has 20x lead engagement for my clients without having to be salesy or send a bunch of spam messages that no one is even going to read. So if you're watching this video, it's likely you have all these years of experience and credibility in finance, but your online presence doesn't yet reflect that. You're probably getting very little engagement and not booking any new conversations with leads. And if you're any sort of RIA, creating content on LinkedIn should be an absolute no-brainer for you. Yet, generating conversations from the things that you post is usually the thing that people just can't seem to figure out. So today is going to be the day that changes things for you. I'm going to go step by step through our strategy that's booking leads right now. Now, why are legacy firms actually beginning to fall behind? Recently, I've analyzed tons of firms' websites, and this particular thing stuck out to me. I noticed a firm, $2 billion in AUM. The founder had 30 plus years of experience, yet they only got 4,000 website visits every single month. Additionally, they only had like 500 or so followers on LinkedIn. And then I noticed another firm, young founder, less than 10 years or so in the industry, not even owning his own firm for half of that. But he had double firm A's website visitors and followers. So why is that? It seems that the firms that are less credible are seeing more visibility despite the gap in expertise. And I did more research, and what I found was really shocking. It all came down to the use of one singular mechanism. And before I reveal this, you have to remember that, especially in financial services, everything is based off of trust. And how do we actually build trust as humans? Think of your brother or a close friend, right? In person, face to face, knowing these people for years and genuinely liking them and their personality, appreciating them, and feeling like they genuinely care for you as well. And based on these websites, the clear winner understood this and utilized it throughout their mechanism of choice. And that mechanism of choice is video. You see, out of all of the different mechanisms, right? Video is the only way that you can create that same connection with thousands of leads at once without paying new costs every time they convert. And ads require more and more budget. Seminars and networking events require tons of time, and there is no other method in which you can speak face to face, building trust and authority with all of these individuals at once. Why haven't these larger RIAs picked up on this? Why aren't they seeing this? Because it's been years since this method has been popularized, especially in other industries. It usually breaks down to 4 particular reasons. Number 1, they don't know what to record, they don't know how to record it, or they simply don't have the time. And I'll save the 4th one for the very last, just to keep you watching. This video is going to show you how to solve every single one of these. First off, what do you actually record? The simple answer to that is you record and you post what your audience wants to see or what they would watch. But in order to actually know that, you need to know your clients, their pain points, their traumas, their dreams, their goals, what's blocking them from achieving those goals, and exactly why they need your help. This is why I help wealth management firms and not investment banks or any other type of financial firm, because I know my client in the wealth management space. I know that 30 to 40% of their job isn't helping the clients, but figuring out where their next client is going to come from. Once you understand this, you're going to list every single problem that they struggle with. Give them a name, write down every single thing. Once you've done this, you need a video idea that's going to reverse every single one. See what I did earlier? I said, what are the main blockers for these firms to actually use video? And then this video is going to break every single one of those down. Basically, you get unlimited content ideas, but now you have to figure out which ones are you actually going to use. Because if you post every single one, your audience is just going to get drowned in the amount of content that's out there, and they're not going to consume any of it. The hard part becomes deciding which ones are you actually going to record. And to do this, there's a highly effective tactic that I will break down in a little bit. But first, realize that quality over quantity is actually a myth. I know you're thinking right now, but just let me explain. What I mean by that is that when you're starting, you need to just start. You need to just post your videos. You need to just get them out there, because so many firms and advisors get stuck in this phase, the very beginning. They spend so much time on thinking about what to post instead of just posting a video. As Hormozy says, volume negates luck. So post more. post as much as you possibly can. I personally am going to aim to post once a week for the next month, and you'll see exactly where that gets me. Post as much as possible because that's where you'll see the real results. Now what you need to do is figure out which to post, and to do this is simple: copy. Picasso had a famous quote. He said, "Good artists copy, great artists steal." But we know that not everyone is a great artist, and that's for a reason. So I'll show you exactly how to perform a heist and steal video ideas. Now you're going to scroll YouTube and you're going to find what are called outlier videos. You're going to create an entire playlist dedicated to outlier videos. What is an outlier video? An outlier video is any video that outperforms the channel average by a specific percent. Their average video is like 1,000 views when you go through their channel, and then they have a video that got 30K views. You need to study and replicate that video. I actually stole this video from another video about LinkedIn, and I'm going to talk about video, but I'm not stealing a video about video. All right, that sounds a little redundant, but I'm not going to steal a video from the same niche. Instead, I'm going to look at other niches, other channels, people talking about LinkedIn lead generation, people talking about marketing as a whole, people talking about completely other sectors or niches. You're going to study these videos and learn how you can take videos from other niches and apply them to yours. Realize that your idea, title, and packaging are the most important parts. What you say in the video is meaningful to the extent that you do something, right? That you actually provide value. But aside from that, nobody's going to consume that value unless your idea, title, and packaging, your thumbnail, things like that, aren't appealing enough for them to actually watch the full thing. Now you have your idea, but how do you actually go record that? Simply need to execute, right? Go out, film, make sure your video is ready to go. And there's a few simple steps you can take to make sure that it's high quality. You'll need to understand that the quality of your videos will directly demonstrate how your brand is perceived and whether people even trust you. That's why I'm using my MacBook webcam instead of getting some professional looking camera, because I'm an 18-year-old starting my company, and people want that raw side. People want the side where they can see kind of directly into my life. Whereas a firm that's $1 billion plus AUM, they're going to get a very professional setup so that their brand is properly reflected and maintains the legacy that they have built over the past 30 years. That's why we do the things that we do for our clients instead of having them record from their webcam as well. I'll give 3 setup recommendations based on budget, which you'll be able to find in this document, and I'm going to link this below as well. It's not just a script, right? It's so that you guys can read through it and go back and actually use this information. So number 1, say you only have $10, right? You just want to test things out. You can literally grab your iPhone, and if you have a MacBook or if you have any sort of desktop computer, download OBS Studios to share your screen, just like I'm doing right now. Google Doc, and get some natural lighting. I'm in some random classroom, right? Nothing crazy. Just make sure that it's not a dark room. If you have access to buy a cheap $10 lav mic, it'll help a lot. Oftentimes your audio is going to be so much more important than the quality of your video, because people are hearing you before they're watching you. Either set up your phone manually, or you can also find like a $10 to $15 phone holding tripod on Amazon. $100 budget, definitely buy everything below. And so you're going to want to also invest in some sort of basic content creation light. That way you can just get even lighting on your face. I only have some random ring light, so I'm not going to necessarily recommend anything specific there. But if you look up cheap softbox light on Amazon, you can get something decent quality that'll do the job for YouTube without having to run $300 like I did for my clients. And again, don't focus on rule of thirds or anything just yet. If you're at this budget range, you basically just want eye level camera. Don't shoot up the nose like I am right now. You don't want to shoot downwards either. You just want to be eye level. Third one is $1,000 budget. This is pretty much what we use for our clients, except for the camera. We have a bit more advanced one, but you're going to get a C-stand and an Amron 200X. And this is exactly what we use. Depending on the scope or like the size of the firm, we might upgrade, get additional lights. The Sony ZV-E10 is also an amazing camera. Might run a bit over budget if you invest in this as well, but it will definitely increase quality a ton. Definitely focus on your background as well. Obviously, I'm being extremely hypocritical with all of these right now. You definitely want to get the best quality background as possible. I'll make sure to improve that as well for my next videos. Last thing, how to actually be efficient, because the number one problem is like, you know how to make a video, or you know that you need to be doing a video, but you have so many things going on, you don't have the time to actually spend on doing that. And so how do you solve that? So the most time consuming part of producing YouTube content is going to be the editing. Filming a 10-minute video might take 15 minutes to set everything adding up, maybe another 15 because of all the retries you have to do. But editing that video could take you hours. Like everything else today, you need to be using AI. The tools I would recommend are Descript and Opus Clip, and these will allow you, instead of scrubbing through, cutting all of your starters out, cutting all of these words, and re-exporting tons of times, you can upload your raw video, get a clean polished version back in a few minutes. That allows you to handle that entire editing process extremely quick. If you are at that $1,000 budget, I would definitely consider hiring either an advanced video editor or a virtual assistant to kind of handle that for you. Again, we have to be very efficient with our time and very conscious of it. All of this sounds great, but if you start posting videos online, how do you actually make sure that you don't just get hit from compliance? And this is the biggest fear for all of the firms that I speak to, and it's also the reason that most firms don't even start. But here's the truth: staying compliant with video is actually extremely straightforward once you understand a few simple rules. Compliance doesn't mean silence, it just means clarity. All of these legal institutions, right, SEC, FINRA, they're not out to punish you for educating the public on your service. What they care about is making sure that you're not misleading, guaranteeing results, or omitting disclosure. 3 simple rules you want to follow when creating your content are: number 1, avoiding permisory language. Don't say something like, "I'll double your portfolio," or "this strategy always beats the market," or even "this strategy is going to guarantee that you retire early," or something like that. Instead, you want to frame your device around education and process. So you can say things like, "Here's how this works," or "This is one of the strategies we use when evaluating portfolios," but you definitely do not want to promise your audience in any sort of way. Number 2, stay pretty general. All of your videos should feel like a keynote and not a one-to-one consultation. So you want to talk about principles, frameworks, and industry trends. That doesn't mean you can't specify towards a specific niche, but it means don't go in depth into actual products, ETFs, mutual funds that people should or should not invest in. Instead of saying that, you could say, "Here's how we evaluate whether an investment fits a client risk profile." Something like that will definitely allow you to remain much more compliant than otherwise. So number 3, add context with disclaimers. Pretty self-explainable, right? Even if it's just a quick one line, you want to have a disclaimer in your video, and that just prevents from any additional risk. And again, I would also throw them at the bottom of your description. You don't even have to speak that out loud. You could put it either in the top or bottom of your description, and over time your audience is going to get used to it, even if you say it in the video, and compliance is obviously going to love you for that. Yes, you can absolutely create video content that builds trust, authority, and conversations without fighting compliance. And in fact, the ones who are winning in 2025 are the ones who already figured this out and how to scale within the rules instead of avoiding them. And at this point, there are kind of 2 options, right? You can take the strategy and you can run with it yourself. Or if you'd rather skip the process of the trial and error that I've been through for the past 2 to 3 years, we can handle everything for you. Our team builds and runs the entire system, and it will take less than 2 hours of your time each month. So if you're interested, just hit the link below and we'll see if it's a fit. Looking forward to speaking with you.